shake it out. Alright, let's see what we can get done now. Why did I bring these up here? Shoot. Alright, it has been a little minute. A few days. A few days seem like a long time sometimes. If I can scoop some of this stuff over. Like that, maybe. I'm not using these right now, or this. Yo, what's good, what's good? Just trying to crank the studio up, let it get warm in here a little bit. Man, cold as hell in here right now. Clean up. I had some family come up for the weekend to check out my exhibit, so that's why I didn't get a lot of streaming in over the weekend. But I did paint a little bit. Y'all see we got a little bit more done on this underpainting. I just didn't, like I said, I just didn't stream it. But got that set up. Hello. What's good, guys? Yeah, right now, we're just trying to warm up, get into this groove, so we can do a little bit of painting this afternoon. Like I said, it's kind of chilly in the studio today, so I got the heat on. But sometimes, you know, a little shit might make you warm up too. Oh yeah. I need to check the palette. I'm almost certain I'm gonna have to put some different colors on here for this next part. But like I said, we're getting close. We are definitely getting close. I'm not sure what colors I'm gonna need until I look at this photo again. But right now we're just on the beach for a second. Hope everybody having a good day, a good afternoon. I say I'm just listening to running through some old beats. The last time I was in here, we listened to a lot of the better beats, I guess. I be meaning to make some new beats. I might do that over the weekend. Instead of staying on the game so long, try to make a few new beats. This one is called Easy Money. Boozy, what it doozy, my main man. What's good, my guy? What's good, my guy? I like this beat, yo. Happy New Year, my guy. What's good? I feel like this really needs a lot more to it, and it's just the first 8 beats. So I don't know what else I could add to it, but this one definitely feels like unfinished. I like it though. Called Easy Money. I stay on the grind trying to get that dough, cause it goes and comes and it comes and go. I stay on the grind trying to get that dough, cause it comes and it go. Cause I stay on the grind trying to get that dough, cause it goes and comes and it comes and go. And I stay on the grind trying to get that dough, cause it goes and comes and it comes and go. Yeah, easy money, easy money, easy money. Make the flip, easy money, easy money, easy money. I'm breaking bricks, easy money, easy money, easy money. I'm taking trips, easy money, easy money, easy money. I'm making flips, yeah, get that, cause it comes and goes and it comes. Stay on the grind trying to get that dough, cause it goes and comes and it comes and goes. I stay on the grind trying to get that dough, cause it goes and comes and it comes and go. I stay on the grind trying to get that dough, cause it goes and comes and it comes and go. Easy money, easy money, easy money. I'm making flip, easy money, easy money, easy money. I'm breaking bricks, easy money, easy money, easy money. I'm taking trips, easy money, easy money, easy money. I'm making flips, gotta get on the grind trying to, there's a couple of bridges. That's like 2 different bridges right there. All you gotta do is like fill it in the middle somewhere, man. I feel like there's something to that. It's still, like I said, it's missing something. They ain't got no bass line. All my beats be the same, man. My shit just drum kicks, a simple melody. I normally throw some shakers in there and a little bass line. It's a simple format. If I can find some shakers, but honestly, like the lead where those violins switch, it's the same melody. It just switches pitch or tone. What if I chop it? What if I chop that out? All right, hold on. Let me just try something. I'll probably put it back the way that it is. Where's my case? I wish that pencil. My pencil is on the case, and I see the case. It's right here. All right, grab this. This makes it a little easier, because these little lines are so teeny. Alright, so if I split that and split this, and I want to delete that part, I'm going to copy this piece right here, copy that, and then I'm going to paste that. Move, slide over. I'm going to paste that right there. So now it'll switch octaves on that violin twice. Let's hear it one time. think I'll just keep it like that for a minute. P, what up? Play around with the beats. I just went back and revamped that one just a little bit, just a smidget, a tad bit. Just mixed it around a tad bit. My computer reset itself? Wow. Man, they stay watching me, bro. They be, man, look, man. They be watching. What's good though, guys? What we trying to chat about real quick? We're only 30 minutes in. It's basically my Thursday today. Cause no, I might work Friday. I might. But I doubt it. I think I got enough hours in. I got to do my time tomorrow, but I'm almost certain I won't have to work Friday. And if I did work Friday, it'd be from home. I'm not going to the office. So, what I was saying? Oh yeah, just sent my auto replies for my emails. I'm officially on staycation until the 27th. Bruh, I'm right there with you, dog. I'm right there with you, bro, cause that'll be, no, actually, you said until the 20th, you go back on the 27th, cause I go back on the 28th. So I'm on staycation through the 27th. And then it's weird. Then I work a day, and then it's the weekend, and then I get New Year's day off paid. Like, and I could have like used that day in there, but I needed to carry some time over into January. I gotta take a couple of days off at the first of the year, so I carried over 36 hours, I think. So I could have taxed on another day, and I would have been off like for the rest of the year. Back on the 27th. They won't let me go that long. We need you, bruh. Get, that's damn near a week. That's enough. Hey, hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
What's up? What's up, Prince?
Chilling, chilling. How you doing?
All right. I asked Eljabar.
What happened?
I have bad. Elj, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say hello. You popped on my phone.
That's what's up. How you doing?
I need a favor.
A favor? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't do too many
Let me have
favors.
some of that paint. Let me have some of that paint back. I give you $1 for it.
Some paint.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I might have some paint I can get to you.
What you say?
I might got some paint I can get to you. You're gonna have to pay for the
But I was
shipping.
just, I was just playing.
Nah, I got you covered now.
Okay. I had your picture of the day. I got kind of frustrated with it. I said, shoot, forget it. I drawn out my mind. Then I thought about you. You said, yeah, you're pretty good. But I draw a lady. I got kind of frustrated. I said, shoot, you don't look like nothing. They just probably, I'm my worst enemy anyway.
Nah. Sometimes it's good to just set it down, walk away, and come back to it later.
What you say?
I say sometimes it's good to set it down and just come back to it later. Maybe you'll look at it different after a day or so.
You want to see it right quick?
Yeah, show it to me.
Hold on.
I only get spam. Yeah, man, people send emails. I be checking my emails all day. We on
right
Instagram Live talking to one of my art buddies. Oh, that looks pretty good.
Huh?
I like it.
Hold on, when I did another one, so I just give me messing up page. Hold on, I somewhere I don't know where it's at. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh shoot, hold on. Wait a minute, I'll find it right quick.
You supposed to be ready.
I know. You see that right there? Hold on.
You drew that from your imagination?
I got out a book.
Okay, that's good. I really say, like, damn.
Hold on for a minute, gotta find that picture. I don't know what I did to. I probably tore it, ain't no telling. But sometimes I just sit there and mess up the paper. Anyway, I just want to say hello to you. I ain't gonna keep. I just be popped on the phone.
No,
What the weather like up there where you at? What the weather like?
It's dry, but it's cold. It's like 40 something degrees.
You still up north?
Oh yeah, I ain't going nowhere.
We Georgia. We Georgia folks.
Yeah, I'm way on the other end of the country. I'll show you the drawings I did last. I already gave them away, but
I can't see it. Oh, that's so nice. You did that. That's look good.
yeah.
How long take you to do that?
About 10 hours.
Ooh, that look good. Wow, that look good. So I hope I get that good.
All I have to do is time and patience.
I know. Yeah, that's the main thing. I might go ahead and sketch up some more stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's keep at it.
That look real good, but I ain't gonna catch it. Want to say hello.
Well, you know I appreciate every time you come in here and chat with me.
I know. You see that one?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. Uh-oh. Yeah, but I won't get a chance to draw Shaq and some more people. I want to get a chance to draw. I be staring at them people's heads and stuff. And you know how artists do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you good.
Thank you. Well, I'm not gonna. I just want to say hello. I might do a live thing one of these days.
You should.
Yep, I can't hardly see out my eye. I got to go allergy real bad and ooh, it's rough. I had to go get my driver's license today. And I'm like, okay. So I said, I know my elbow probably kind of swollen that Peter. Okay. So I went and got that taken care of.
And you don't wear glasses?
Yeah, I wear glasses.
Okay.
I'm allergic to, I don't know, you know the stuff you fly around here, it's like the little white thing, like ragweed. You know what I'm talking about? Whenever I get in contact with this stuff, it make my eyes swell real bad. Sometimes like right here.
Oh,
it makes it swell real bad.
Yeah.
But they get a little better though, but anyway.
All right.
I just want to say holler at you and I'll get back with you again.
All right, well, I'll talk to you later on.
Okay, later.
Bye.
Goodbye. Get it closed out. Okay.
You can tell she from the South. Yeah, she cool, man, but yo, her art is good though. You know what I'm saying? She got a good hand, bro. She can draw. And then like she say, she be drawing from her imagination sometimes. Like I don't hardly ever, rarely, never do that shit. But like her drawings from her mind, she be drawing faces and people from her mind. I be like, yo, that shit look like you used a reference. I was like, damn. That's why the last one I was like, that shit came from your imagination too. She's like, nah, it came from a magazine. Cause it'd be hard to tell like if she using a reference or if she not using a reference. Like she that good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she retired or not. She an older woman, but she just like to draw. And like I say, when I be online, she'll just pop in and just be chatting with me sometimes. She cool as shit. All right, we need to see what's going on with this damn painting. I'm gonna have to jack this thing up from the bottom. Or do I gotta paint this bitch upside down? I ain't gonna have to paint it upside down. Not right now. Oh, computer. computer keep resetting. Alright, need to close out Instagram because ain't nobody in there. Shut that out. Delete that. Once again, if you don't come to the Instagram live, you just won't see it. You're gonna have to come to the YouTube. I was about to Then why don't you just wait till the weekend to go to the liquor store? Yeah, if y'all see y'all boys don't be on social media like that. But I made this little thing. I am. I made this little thing for the kids for one of our projects coming up. And you know how like in the cartoons when motherfuckers start running real fast, all you see is like their legs spinning like in a circle real fast and motherfucking dust coming up and shit. So I made this down. I seen this cute little thing, yo. Yo, this is my second highest um TikTok reel. This shit got over 2,000 views real quick. But it's like the cutest little thing though.
Yo, you wanna see something cool? No? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Yo, you wanna see something cool?
Say that's not cool
no.
shit.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Yo, you wanna see something cool?
Yeah, that shit got 2,000 and yo, that shit got 2,020 views, yo. That little shit right there. You know what? I need to make that. Can I save that with the music and save video? I don't know if it'll save with the music. But I'm gonna make it a YouTube short. I'm gonna do that shit right now. Let's see if this shit get views as a YouTube short. This shit moving slow as hell.
Yo, you wanna see something cool? No? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Yo, you wanna see something cool? No? Well, I'm gonna do it.
Hold on, I'm coming. All right. Yo, that shit is cute as fuck, right? And then in the I seen it on Pinterest, but on Pinterest, the motherfucker made two of them, and then the second one was like a little monster, and so he was spinning both of them, and then had like the dude running from the monster. But with the kids, man, like for them to do two of them, it probably take too long because it'll be just enough time for us to like make our characters, color them in, cut them out, and then like glue everything together. We'll have just enough time to do one. I got like two fast kids though. Like these motherfuckers be like, and they be on it. One of them I already told her like, I was like, look, you see all the college kids coming here, the volunteering stuff. I'm like, you were just like them. All right, so you're my volunteer because she's smart. She finished her homework fast. I'm like, yo, if you finish your homework before everybody else, help everybody else. They doing the same homework you doing, and like with her crafts and her projects, like, and they don't be messy. She just do that shit, yo. Like, and most of the time she be like the first one done, and that shit be dope. I'm like, good now you, because everybody, other kids was like, can you help me? Can you show me? And I'm like, you've already done it. You've done it. Show them help too. Like, and now she's in that zone where like she really do like help and assist. But I know with this project, she'll be one of the kids who could do two of them and like have her character and like a different character. She'll probably get two of them shits done. All right, let's. I need the photo. All right, photo. And here we're gonna really browns, grays, mostly gray. I might. I mean, I should scrape the palette, but I don't have to. I don't have to scrape it. I might. I might have to. Running and running and running and running and running. You want to see something cool? No? I'm gonna do it anyway. I got that shit on my playlist. If you listen to that shit, it's the hooligans or hooligan. But they sound like goddamn the Beastie Boys. And I see like a lot of these newer acts are going back to the fucking 80s and 90s flow. That shit is weird. We getting old, yo. That shit is crazy. Like for goddamn Spirit Week or whatever, when you supposed to dress like back in the day, how we used to dress like the hippies and shit. Now these motherfuckers dress like us when we was in high school. Like that shit is so fucking crazy. It's kind of scary to know that time just that shit don't stop, bro. These motherfuckers mimicking us when we was a kid. Even our music now. Yo, if you listen to them, yo, that shit sound like the fucking Beastie Boys, yo. I put that shit on my fucking playlist. I'm like, look at these young dudes.
Yo, you want to see something cool? No? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yo, what a week. Yo, hey, tell me this don't sound like the Beastie Boys. To the break of dawn, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, how is our old style coming? Like, I don't get it. Like, they sound dope, but I know where y'all get that from. And these most younger people won't know. Like, y'all boys sound like the fucking Beastie Boys, nigga. Rock Adidas, only rock feeling. And it's in the CD changer right now. You know what I'm saying? Fat Boys too. Mm-hmm. Suicide is a suicide. The goddamn planetary, intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Yo. Brass Monkey. Yo, the Beastie Boys. And how these dudes sound like the Beastie Boys? That shit killing me. Like, You know, then I got this another that second track that J. Cole and what is it there? Ooh, just the instrumentals? Ooh. Nah, ain't nothing original no more, bro. Like I said, it's crazy that they gotta steal from our shit now to sound fresh and different, because everything sound the fucking same, but they stand out because I can't explain it. Y'all know what I'm trying to say though. It's just it's just weird as shit, yeah. Nobody ain't never gonna try to bite Nas either, bro. They like one or two dudes, King something. When I heard this flow the first time, I'm like, bro, why you trying to sound like Nas a little bit? But it's hard to copy that cat. But this fucking J. Cole bar right here, this shit right here hit me so hard, dog. And now my paper folded like when teachers don't want classmates to see your grade. Time is speeding now, I see the grades poking out this beard, but it's weird cause I feel like I ain't even aged. Y'all seize the rays, feet firmly planted for the y'all seize the rays, feet firmly. That motherfucker say time speeding. Now I can see the grays poking out this beard, but it's weird because I feel like I ain't even aged. And I'm at the age where I feel like, I don't know, I shouldn't be this age. Who is texting me and why? My man, Dan. Nice. That shit looking super fly. It be like that. Time speeding now. I can see the grays poking out this beard, but it's weird because I feel like I ain't even aged. Alright, what we need to do is scrape a little bit, just a little bit, just so it don't be so hard the next time. You got motherfuckers sounding like the Beastie Boys now. Whew. Damn. And I don't even know how I think I came across that track because it was in like an Instagram reel or something. And I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck is this? And then I looked it up on iTunes or Apple Music or whatever that shit is. And I was like, nah, this shit is for a real legit shit. Like, wait a minute. Who these guys are? Alright, if I scrape that right there, that'll save me some trouble in the future. Ugh. And maybe this. Alright. Alright, while I do that, let me see. What was this? Yo, I watched this damn Netflix anime, Blue Eye Samurai. Yeah, y'all gotta check that shit out, yo. They only got season 1 up there. Yo, that shit did not end how I wanted it to end, but you already seen that shit. Like after, I don't know, man. Like after a minute, like I was like, please don't let it end like this, and then it ended that way. I was like, son of a bitch, you motherfuckers. Who wrote that? Why? And I understand you got season 2 coming and all that shit, but still. That's why I can't be no writer, man. Motherfuckers be like, why you writing like that? Cause that's what I would do in real life. In real fucking life, bro. This is what I would do. Come on, man. That's why I couldn't be a horror movie writer. Soon as the monsters are alien, I'm dipping. That's it. I'm dipping. I'm not trying. And then the movie, that's the end of the movie. We hauled ass. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing else. Ain't nothing else to it. We heard the noise in the woods. We got in the car and left. Credits. Nah, I'm not playing around in that shit. I write that shit just how I would do that shit. But for a modern anime, it has some really good plot twists. But just the whole concept and the main character is a fucking badass. Like, it's a good one. It's a decent one. I ain't even gonna lie, yo. Alright, now we need to get this canvas up as high as possible. We gotta pull this. Haha. Alright. That should be good enough. I'm stuck on the ceiling. Right there. Alright, should be good like that. It be like that. But bro, it's a good one to watch, man. Yo, this shit's so good, like I said I had my aunt and uncle over this weekend. Uh, and they not into no shit like that. They really not. But they were talking where we were all talking and shit, and then I was about to just find something to watch, and then it was already on pause. So when I brought it up, she was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Just a show I was watching." So I hit play, and they already know I love anime. And my uncle's like, "Oh, this one of your animes, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a new one. It just came out." So you watch like 10 minutes of it, and then I was like, "Y'all wanna we can watch something different?" And mom was like, "No, no, hold up for a minute," because it was at a good part too, yo. And the script, like I say, this shit is very well written. It's a really good. The dialogue is really good. The voice acting is great. Like Blue Eye Samurai. Blue Eye Samurai. Look, this how popular it is right now. I typed in Blue E. It's the first thing that pops up with Blue E on YouTube. That can't be the full first episode is on YouTube? Really? Wow.
Seek. Guide my steps until I find them and kill them. Elijah Fowler. He was one of the 4 white men in Japan when I was born. One of them took my mother and made me a monster. You have murder in your eyes. He deserves to die. The samurai. I saw its eyes. It's not human. I want to know everything there is to know about your demon. You'll come. You'll stand right here. And he will open your throat.
Yo. Oh, whoa. What they just said? Yo, okay, hold on. This shit just said from the writer of Logan and Blade Runner 2049. That's why the writing is so good. Okay, I did not know that the whole time. I ain't really look at none of the credits yet. The writers from Logan and Blade Runner wrote this shit.
Under the law, revenge is a luxury for men. Women must be practical. I've been a captive my whole life. If I die today, I die free. I'm on the path of revenge. There's no place on it for love, friendship.
Under your mask, you're not the killer you pretend to be. You're just angry.
I said the samurai could not be stopped, but you wouldn't listen. Just a man. Let him come. He's no man.
So you guys already watched this, Joe? I watched that. Yo, that's a good one. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. But season 1, why they end it like that, dude? Oh my god. I was like, damn, man. I was like, come on, bro. Kill this motherfucker, man.
Number DX! Making a change is never easy, but having Zen shipped directly to your door definitely makes him. You probably shouldn't watch Blue Eye Samurai. It's not what you're expecting from a Netflix anime. It's a story about revenge and honor. Revenge.
I'll avenge us, Mama. I swear it.
Love, revenge. Lust and love, loyalty and betrayal. Willies and Gazangas. Oh, did I mention it has full frontal nudity?
Full frontal
I feel
nudity.
inclined because often dismemberment, gutting, beheading, infant skeletons don't always make clear the adult nature of a show. But boobs usually does. So just to be clear, this is not a show for kids. This is an adult anime, and it is excellent. And while this isn't the typical format for an everything great about video, that's still very much what this video is. And I plan to entirely spoil it for you, knowing full well that you'll still want to watch it anyway. But first, a non-spoiler overview in case you want to bail on this video for 6-ish hours, and then come back later while politely letting the video play all the way through on mute. Mizu, the Blue Eye Samurai, is a biracial, half-white, half-Japanese, expert swordsman on a quest to find 4 white men who were living in Japan when Mizu was born. Mizu meets new companions along the way, like Ringo, a man looking to be great at anything, who offers a lot of comedy and sincere warmth. The other main concurrent story is Akemi's, a princess in love with an undefeated samurai of lower birth named Taigen. There's also several evil men doing and plotting evil things. It's gorgeous in the way that you just want to paint scenes and hang them on your wall. It's brutal and gory, the score is meaningful and moving, it's sensual and perverse, it takes its time and tells a beautiful story about not so beautiful things. It leaves no unseemly stone unturned, from bigotry, xenophobia, and misogyny to greed, obsession, love and hatred, purpose in life. You name it, it's here. The voice cast includes Maya Erskine, Kenneth Branagh, Randall Park, George Takei. Everyone lets loose and knocks it out of the park. Go watch it if that interests you, or like I said, just watch my video and then go watch it, because you'll still want to. Okay, you're back. One of the main hooks of the show is something that's confirmed at the end of the first episode, and the way it's done is, I guess, let's say subversive.
Oh. Yeah, we finished yet? Alright, my bad. I was doing something else. Did you watch Leave the World Behind? I listened to a couple of breakdowns, but not all the way through yet. Like, I tried to listen to one night and I fell asleep. Then I tried to listen to one going to work one morning, and I don't know, I turned it on like halfway through my ride and I didn't finish it before I got there. But so far they talk about the color tones of the movie. Well, the one that I was trying to listen to talked about the color tones, how they frequently use blue to keep a sense of calm, even though shit is not fucking calm, bro. And how they slip that QR code in there. And my first time watching it all the way through, I didn't even notice it. It's very hard to notice. And so after I watched it, it was just so confusing. And I'm like, I need somebody to help explain. Like, I can glean like bits and pieces of it. Okay, now let me hear someone else's explanation. But then there's a lot of things in there that are really, really subtle. Really subtle. I think I tried to listen to one guy, and he already just going on like way too deep to begin with, and I was like, I don't know about that. That was my son texting me. All right. Gundam? See, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Just put me up on something. Yo, tomorrow, that, Rogue Moon or whatever, that new sci-fi series, they supposed to launch that shit tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. What do you say, Gundam? Requiem for Vengeance. Sounds intense.
Sentinel 2 lead. We read you loud and clear. I need those mobile suits on the ground now! Deploy 42!
You heard the Major. Red Wolves, prepare to drop.
Charlie, are you loading up?
Don't worry about me. What the hell is that?
This motherfucking Gundam, bro. Oh, shit. Yo, not gonna lie, I seen something else kind of cool too. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles skins for Fortnite.
Easy to get lost in investment research. Introducing JP Morgan Personal Advisors. Hey, David. Connect with an advisor.
I don't even play Fortnite, but I don't know, man. It's Ninja Turtles.
This is one of the biggest collabs we've ever had. So I received these early because I am an Epic partner, and sometimes they send these early to review. You guys can get them tomorrow, December 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, I always have to clarify because technically tonight,
the Ninja Turtles
even though in
look
America
cool
it's
as
still
shit
December
in
13th,
Fortnite,
it's
like
going to be December 14th for people in Europe. It does not come out tonight. It's December 14th in American time zones. I always have to clarify that because I always get the comments, Tabor, you lied. You lied. I love that. I think pretty much every staff does that, as far as I can remember, but that is just a very sweet-looking animation. The twirl, spectacular. Okay, so there is a little bit of purple and brown contrail. Unfortunately, my nighttime meter is not working, so I can't turn it dark. We'll have to show that in-game. Doesn't look like there's a splash, though. Looks like a normal splash. Let's just hit a wall and see. Let's see if there's anything secret with the weak spots. No.
I wonder who thought.
I always thought the bow animation felt a little slower. People tell me it's not, but it's.
Who thought to put the fucking Ninja Turtles into goddamn Fortnite? I don't know. once again, going back to like my childhood, that's the stuff that I was doing as a kid. Like, how is the Ninja Turtles like still so cool, yo? I could clearly remember when that movie came out, and it's like now they got that shit in fucking Fortnite. Once again, shit just seems, I don't know, little shit like that seems so weird to me sometimes. I don't know why, but it's just, I don't know. It's like motherfuckers still in our childhood. Like, why don't y'all just leave our shit alone? Y'all motherfuckers keep using all our characters from back in the day, and I get it though. Keep the franchise alive. Keep it coming for the new kids. Ninja Turtles is pretty cool.
2023 has been a monster year for gaming, but it's also given us some real monsters. Some doozies, if you will. And today we're going to talk about how mistakes have been made. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 games that sucked in 2023. We're going to start off with number 10, an obvious one that you will not be surprised by one bit. It's Skull Island Rise of Kong. Published by the appropriately titled Game Mill. I'm sure you realize this won't be the only Game Mill game we cover today. I probably didn't even need to say that, but same goes for just everything wrong with this game. You see it for about a second, and you realize that, oh, this one's got problems. So besides being full of bugs and stuff, which that's pretty normal for games now, sadly, it's also not full of like basically anything else. This is one boring ass game. You play as interchangeable members of the Kong family from time to time, which the way I worded that made it sound way more interesting than it is. It's got really, really bad graphics. It's one of those games where you can say like, oh hey, remember the Dreamcast and how it looked better than this? It proves that just pushing a decent amount of polygons, because I know that these Kong models have got more polygons than anything from the 90s, but it shows that that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. There's got to be some flair, some style, some art design, you know? Speaking of the art design, remember how we can't really tell if Kong is supposed to be big or small because there's big trees and little trees? There's various things that indicate that he is a normal gorilla in scale, and there's various things that indicate he is a large gorilla in scale. It is not consistent with its art design, which it's probably, you know, reused assets, which isn't automatically bad, but there's just nothing here. Like, there's some platforming elements, they're bad. There's some combat, it's, I guess, okay for about 5 or 6 seconds. Once you've cleared through that first enemy and gone on to the second, though, you know the extent of its, capabilities. Also, the game is very short. It's 2-3 hours, and that'll be $40, please. One weird thing I thought was, I saw a lot of reviews that criticized the replay value on this game. And yeah, there is a lack of replay value, but, like, it's because it's a game that sucks. Why would you replay a game that sucks? I don't care what kinds of things they throw into the post-game to keep you coming back. I don't care if there is or isn't a post-game when the game is bad, you know? And it is. It's very bad. The one saving grace is that a lot of the Kong faces are beyond hilarious. I'm surprised they have not been bigger memes, honestly.
Step into Wix Studio, where creative freedom meets absolute efficiency. Intelligent designs.
And number 9 is The Day Before, which, I mean, we've talked about The Day Before. I would highly recommend you go to our videos about The Day Before for a full breakdown of the problems here. But even when things seem to be going right for this game, I always had that spidey sense in the back of my head saying, you know, we do our big game roundups every month. Like, go back to that for the month, and you'll see that I'm kind of, well, it's coming out. Kind of surprised by that. But also, I don't know about this one. And that turned out to be very kind and very generous preemptive kind of expression of nervousness regarding this game. Like, where do you start? The technical problems? There's a ton of technical problems. But let's say there's no technical problems. The Day Before is still the Day Before. The gameplay mechanics, not good. It's an extraction shooter and not a good one. The shooting is not fun. The extraction, also not fun. Got a bad user interface. The shooting doesn't feel particularly good in terms of feedback. And every once in a while, you could find Gigantor. I know I said assume that there are no glitches, it's still the Day Before, but I'm just going to say this is probably the best part of the Day Before. This is an all-time greatest glitch ever. This is the game's identity as far as I'm concerned. It is in no way shocking that the company took the money and ran on this one. Like, it's bad. And number 8 is The Walking Dead Destinies. Hey, it's Game Mill. I told you we'd cover more than one Game Mill game. It's almost like they were just churning them things out indiscriminately. Like some kind of mill for games. In terms of complexity, I do have to say there's a lot more going on in The Walking Dead Destinies than there is in Kong Skull Island thing. That doesn't mean it's good, though. This is a very repetitive game. They throw in a bunch of these wonky, goofy little decision systems at you to make it seem like there's a story. And to be fair, you can use it to do some interesting things, but it also kind of doesn't have particularly real consequences. Like, if you don't kill a character that's, killed in the mainline story, and they just usually end up filling up some other character's role later, rather than being, somehow a new story branch where different things happen. Combat's bad. Maybe a little better than Kong, but not by virtue of it feeling better. In terms of the melee, I think Skull Island feels a little bit better than this. However, this has firearms, and the firearms are a respite for a few moments until you realize that they don't get better. Then they're just kind of dull. The AI is bad. The graphics are bad. The performance, weirdly enough, despite the simplicity of the graphics, is also bad. Oh, you know what else is bad? Dumb cutscenes. And I'm not just talking about how, there's no animation. I'm talking about how bad they are. They are bad. Sometimes laughably bad. The lack of animation certainly contributes to that, but they're not acted well. They're very awkward. And then you throw in that animation, so there's no actual action for the most part. I mean, a couple of scenes are weirdly animated, but most aren't. Oh, yeah, and smoke is the same thing as grass. When it comes to stealth. I know that, it's easy to criticize games for making tall grass essentially an invincibility thing, but smoke is much weirder as that, and they got it here as that. And number 7 is Redfall. Alright, so now we're starting to get into our legitimate disappointments. Redfall is a game that Arcane Studios clearly didn't want to make. And I called it. There's a few deep dives out there now about the creation of this game, and it ended up with a lot of people just leaving the studio straight up. It has irrevocably changed the makeup of Arcane Studios Austin. They are no longer the developers behind. You see, what this thing is some suit said, hey, you gotta make a live service game. Alright? That's what you gotta do. You're Arcane Studios, you made Dishonored, you made Prey, you made Deathloop. You guys are friggin' amazing. If you make a live service game, it'll be infinite money for us forever. And they were like, alright, let's come up with ideas for this. And they're like, okay, vampires in town, that's kind of cool. That sounds kind of cool. And then they realized really quickly that it was not possible for them to make the kind of game that they wanted to make and have it be a live service game. So basically, morale was really bad, and a lot of people left. The result is this empty-mapped, weird combat, bad AI, muck game. From time to time, there's something cool in it. The vampires I like. They got pretty decent designs. I guess that's kind of it. I really don't remember a lot of other good stuff. This game, it's sad that it sucks, because honestly, it could have been really cool if it had just been designed as an Arcane game. But,
Well, the first movie is definitely the best Turtles movie.
And number number 6 is Wanted Dead, a game that has a little bit more mixed of a reception than some of the games we have discussed up to this point. It's kind of a throwback action game. Goofy as hell. This is one of those games that, like, I find it hard to hate. It sucks, like, hard, but I kind of love it too. It is firmly set in that so bad it's good area. Everything about this is great. In terms of gameplay, there's some alright stuff in the combat. It's pretty repetitive though, and there's elements of it like checkpoint placement and other weirdness that, well, they firmly stop it from being good. The story is frickin' bizarre. I mean, if there is a game that could have been directed by Tommy Wiseau, the Room guy, oh boy, it's Wanted Dead. There's a weird charm to it, but it's very weird, and that charm does not come from, like, the fact that it's very well made at all, even a little. I don't know. In no way do I feel even a little bit weird about including this on a list of games that sucked. However, I also like it with a lot of obvious caveats. And number 5 is Crime Boss Rockay City, a game that sold itself on a star-studded cast. And, yeah, that's about what it has going for it. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't have at least somewhat of a unique charm to it. Maybe the kind of weirdness you expect from a cheap B movie. Not quite so bad it's good. It kind of knows what it is, and it embodies that in terms of its aesthetic choices. However, the game sucks. The AI for, like, regular enemies, for police, it's bad. And when I say bad, I don't just mean, like, it's weak. It is weak, but it often flat out does things that remind you, hey, there are games from 20 years ago that did AI, like, good. It's one of those. See, it's got that feeling to it. I mean, it basically tries to be this unique roguelike crime game, but it falls very short. When you have a game that just sucks, it doesn't really matter how fun and charming the celebrities are. And there are times when they're uniquely very much that. I mean, you know it's Crime Boss Rockay City the whole time. That's for sure. But everything else about it it sucks. Like, it looks like it should be like a Grand Theft Auto style game, right? And the marketing kind of leaned into that a little bit. It was like, oh, Cyberpunk wasn't that first-person future neon Grand Theft Auto you expected it to be. So, Crime Boss Rockay City. Except it's not even anything like that. It's just, it's like a mission-based roguelike-ish game. And number 4 is Lord of the Rings Gollum. I mean, it certainly wasn't the only high-profile game of the year that was so bad it caused the studio to close, but it's certainly the one that is set in the most beloved IP that no one wants to see ruined. Like, this is a game about Gollum, and it's not an action game, so you'd think, well, probably a good idea to explore the character of Gollum. You would think that, yes. That would be a thought. You're using your brain there. Yeah, it's not that. You got a real bad, buggy crap fest where nothing happens. You don't explore the character Gollum. You're supposed to explore a bunch of really bland environments. A lot of bugs, a lot of technical problems. Don't really know what justified the length of the development cycle on this one. It very much feels like a game that was developed in about 8 months. And I'm talking like look, feel, objectives, AI, game loop. Like there's nothing that seems fleshed out or well done. There's a couple of like all right visual moments. Hooray.
Upgraded my life from Wine Wednesdays, oh no thank you, to Weed Wednesdays with Moon, which means no more Hangover Thursdays.
And number 3 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's campaign. Not the multiplayer. The multiplayer is actually pretty great. Like the multiplayer. It's fine. And there's aspects of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 campaign that are nice. The production value is freaking incredible.
I felt the same thing.
Visuals, the animation,
I didn't think they was going to put that Call of Duty on here though, but
it looks, feels, and presents very well. But, I mean, there's 2 prongs to what's wrong with this campaign. First off, it's very linear. And I am not somebody who normally criticizes linear as a problem. When a studio decides to go linear, it usually means they're going to use the resources to make the best possible linear progression of events they can. And that's not what happened here, at least outside of production values. It's kind of just dull, uninspired, doesn't have a lot of depth, very simple narrative, weirdly simple narrative, honestly. And then the second prong is the gameplay mechanics are pretty muddled. A lot of the time, you're kind of feeling like you're supposed to choose between stealth and combat, and you're not really sure what you're supposed to do, and not in an open-ended way. Like I said, this game is very linear. If like either was a good choice, this probably wouldn't be the same kind of a problem, but it's not like that. You are supposed to do one of them, and it's almost never clear which one. I mean, it's just like in terms of gameplay, it's not cohesive at all, and in terms of narrative, it is not that interesting. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful game. It's just very, very clear that that's where the effort went. And number 2 is Forspoken, a game that has a mechanic that's awesome. They have this really cool way of traversing a map. It's fluid and cool in a way. I don't know if I've ever seen anything exactly like it. I've seen things in the area of it, but that's kind of where the positives end. I almost don't even understand why that's in the game. It doesn't really figure into anything. It doesn't figure into the story. The traversal just doesn't matter to the character or the stakes that are established, which are supposedly significant, but don't feel that way. I mean, so I kind of want to make this point. The lore of the world in Forspoken is actually kind of cool, but if you've ever seen like a movie with overly expository dialogue, where they're just like constantly telling the viewer what's going on, that's what this game feels like. So it kind of squanders all that decent lore. Really squandered is probably the right word for Forspoken. They squandered a twist, squandered a parkour mechanic. Just a lot of squandering going on. Also, the name Forspoken on the surface level sounds like a decent descriptor, because the word means to cast a spell over or enchant, and you can actually apply that to the story in more than one way. Firstly, this woman from New York gets sucked into a dimension with magic. Secondly, she is bewitched by immoderate praise, another definition of Forspeak, and that leads to the twist ultimately. But it's squandered is the right word. Squandered. That and holy hell, I am a millennial. But wow, am I tired of people talking like millennials. Or at least how millennials supposedly talk. All this quippy ass dialogue, enough of it. Stop. We don't really talk like that. What is that?
Just moosh it with my freaking mind.
And finally, at number 1, it's Payday 3. This one is a lot more painful to talk about than any of the other ones, in my opinion.
I almost got Payday 3 too, because it's not like, I don't know if it was, when it came out, it was on sale or something, but it was like, it wasn't like $70. And then when I looked at the price, I was like, that shit seemed hella cheap for some reason. But that was before I changed my subscription level too. So I don't know if it was because I was getting an extra discount with that shit or what. But I sat there and looked at that shit for a minute. I was like, damn. But I ain't really watched no gameplay of that shit yet. So I was like, I better not. I already learned my lesson, yo. I've purchased too many games that I never finished playing, yo. For not listening to these motherfuckers. Cause these studios hype that shit the fuck up so hard. Like that day before, I was looking forward to that shit. Cause like they keep saying early on, yo, they was dropping some cool ass footage. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like one of those the Division type shits, but you know, more modern, better physics, updated mechanics, and you know, graphics and shit. Nope. And then everybody was talking about that Rocket City. Who was playing that? That was Shaman and who else? And I think Blunt Movie said they was playing that shit, yeah. Yo, Gas, what's up, man? But I don't know, I ain't get that Rocket City. And like they say, they hyped that shit up with all the like famous actors and shit. I was like, no, I'm good. But not Payday. Damn. Like, so I still ain't really watched no full-on gameplay of Payday 3. Yeah, there was a game back in the day. It was a 2-man game where you can control both characters, or you and your homie can play. And these dudes had Army of Two or Army of One. What was it called? Army of Two. And they had this one mechanic where if you get up close to a car, you can like rip the door off the car and use it as a shield or some shit. And they had the crazy skull mask. Yeah, Army of Two. Yeah, that shit was a good one, yeah. But damn,
Most of them are, well, some of them are disappointing, but most of them are very obviously what they are. Payday 3, on the other hand, is a big improvement in gunplay and stealth. In terms of gameplay, it's the most enjoyable Payday game yet. It's great. The combat it's a lot more fun. The stealth is a lot more fluid. It feels more flexible. I mean, there's a lot of good to talk about. But the problem is, at least back when it launched, I don't really know exactly how it's going right now. But when it was launched, there's some pretty bad AI issues. The mission objectives are pretty uninspired, and there's not a whole lot of different heists. On top of that, there's a fair amount of technical jitters and weirdness, but they came in addition to massive server issues. Like a lot of games launch with some bad server stuff, but it lasted long beyond the launch window. This is a game that, like, everything about it should be good, and as a basis for a game, it is good, but the fact that it's not everything it should be makes it suck. I'm not ruling out the idea that this could one day not suck, and that is probably the only title on this list like that. In fact, it's even likely that one day Payday 3 will be good. It just ain't today. And that's all for today. Leave a comment, let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon Hero. We'll see you next time, right here on Game Ranks.
Yeah, I've come to trust Game Ranks. You know, it is what it is.
Video game graphics have changed immeasurably through the years. Just compare then to now. It's crazy. In fact, don't even expend the effort. We'll do it for you. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 video game graphics then versus now. At number 10, it's Gran Turismo 7 versus Gran Turismo 1997. Oh my god. So the video game market, obviously, it's always rapidly changing and evolving, so 1997 might as well be ancient history, right? But that's the year that on December 23rd, Gran Turismo, the original, released for PlayStation 1. It was one of the first games officially designed to support the DualShock controller, which, if you didn't know, came later. The original design of the PlayStation controller had only a directional pad, and the twin sticks didn't happen until later. Now, this game was a massive success and spawned a hit series. It's still churning out great games today. Gran Turismo 7 on the PlayStation 5 is a graphical powerhouse. It's got some of the most realistic vehicles ever created for a game, some insane polygon counts. Each vehicle has like 500,000 each. Compare that to the original, and you can count the number of polygons on each car with your fingers. Well, maybe not, but you can count them from looking at them, that's for sure. The original PlayStation could render a total of 360,000 polygons per second, meaning if a game was running at 30 frames per second, it could frame. and that's without other stuff going on. Basically, anytime you play a PlayStation game, you're not seeing 12,000 polygons per frame, period. That's if the only thing it's doing is rendering polygons at 30 frames per second. So, Gran Turismo 7 has these crazy realistic environments that just blow the basic blocky locations of the original game out of the water. It's one of those series that thrives on realism, and, well, in 1997, this was really actually quite impressive. Every new entry obviously surpasses the previous one, and we're a ways in. Yes, I know there are a lot of people who love PlayStation's low-poly visuals, but I don't think there's any denying that this series has benefited from the massive improvements in graphical technology we've seen in the last 2.5 decades. Like, it's kind of hard to imagine the idea that the original Gran Turismo actually was a graphical powerhouse at its time. But, I mean, look at this. It obviously could look worse. And keep in mind, we're emulating this at modern resolutions, so it looks better here than it did on the PlayStation, but still, Polyphony Digital has really always been on the cutting edge with graphics and stuff. It's just a perfect example of the fact that what was considered impressive back then just is nothing now. And number 9 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor versus Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 from 2003. Battle of the Star Wars Jedi sequels. Few media properties have been really massively connected to video games in the way Star Wars has. The first Star Wars game came out in '83. That's when Return of the Jedi came out, just for reference. So that's about 40 years they've been consistently releasing these things. If I really wanted to, I could take this way back to the Atari 2060 or the ColecoVision or whatever, but I don't think there's any point in comparing those visuals to today's. I mean, it's categorically different. It's not even looking at two examples of the same thing, really. So let's have some fun here and instead compare the visuals of Jedi Survivor, an undeniably great-looking game that at time of writing is suffering some pretty severe issues on the PC, and Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. So, Jedi Outcast was developed by Raven Software using id Tech 3, the engine that powered Quake 3 and games like that. This was actually the basis for the IW engine still used today in the Call of Duty franchise. Obviously, it's heavily modified, but there's still something of its code in there. Jedi Survivor, on the other hand, was developed by Respawn Entertainment using the Unreal Engine 4, and it's pretty interesting how these two games parallel one another. Jedi Knight 2 uses the Quake engine and was developed by Activision, while Jedi Survivor used the Unreal Engine and was developed by EA. Respawn was created by former Call of Duty developers, while Raven is actually still trapped in the Call of Duty mines. None of this is really relevant, but it's interesting how these games kind of intersect. Graphically, Jedi Knight 2 actually was pretty good, but it wasn't really blowing people away in 2003 even, which I guess is kind of similar to Jedi Survivor. Survivor looks amazing, obviously, but at a level we've come to expect from AAA games. Of course, everything from the facial animations to the environmental detail blows Jedi Knight 2 out of the water, but it's always funny looking at these old video game cutscenes. They're so amateur in their staging and composition compared to modern games, which look like movies now. The facial animations were weird even back then, and the facial animation in Jedi Survivor is the best in the business. Part of this comes from the fact that even though there was a lot of reference from movies and other media, video game developers just weren't used to the idea of creating things cinematically. That experience has come over the years. The environments are just so much bigger in Jedi Survivor. The lightsaber fights are cinematic compared to Jedi Knight 2's kind of awkward flailing. But one thing they do have in common is you can actually chop off limbs. You had to do it with a code in Jedi Knight 2, but it's there. I mean, I could go on all day about the similarities between these games, and their differences too. But we've got a list to get through, so let's just move on.
You quit being boring. Opera GX lets you limit your RAM while you're gaming, so you can do whatever you.
And number 8 is Resident Evil 4 from 2023 versus, well, Resident Evil 4 from 2005. I don't think you can make a list like this without taking a look at these particular games. So Resident Evil 4 was an amazing looking game in 2005, and it's actually held up pretty well over the years, but there's not really a basis for saying it holds up compared to the remake. certain things in Resident Evil 4 actually still look very good. And honestly, I think I prefer some of the reloading animations from the original game compared to the remake. But looking back at it now, the original had very blurry textures, muddy environments, and surprisingly low poly enemies. It's one of these things you just didn't notice back then, I guess. Oh yeah, and you can't strafe or move while aiming. That's the part that really stands out to people playing this one for the first time. Keep in mind, the game predates the first Gears of War. It did establish a lot of third-person shooting ideas that other games ran with, but that's a thing. Obviously, in the remake, you can move. Leon's faster, he's more reactive, and it's kind of jarring and an exhilarating change compared to the original. I think what makes the remake work so well is they weren't afraid to change things up once in a while. It's overly a very faithful remake, but there was room to improve things, and Capcom wasn't afraid of it. What we're really talking about is the graphics, though, and just look at the graphics in the remake. Like, one thing that stands out to me is how much gloomier and spookier the remake's visuals are. The overcast sky, the ramshackle houses, the thick layers of fog give this game an almost fairy tale atmosphere that just was not there in the original. Like, they were kind of just relying on the fact that it looked dingy and unwelcoming in the original, and they full force went in and said, all right, how do we set mood, tone, etc. completely? And they overall created, in my opinion, a moodier and slightly creepier experience. Details are obviously much higher everywhere you look, like with most games, but the real standouts here are the character models. I think they did a great job at taking the models from the original game and updating them so they're immediately recognizable, but look way more like real people. They're obviously pushing polygons like you'd expect, but I think the atmospheric changes also really stand out, and it is a top-notch remake. Not the only one we're going to talk about, though. At number 7 is the Dead Space remake versus the original Dead Space from 2008. When I first heard they were remaking Dead Space, I thought, did that just come out? And I've said this a couple of times, but I went back and it's 2008. That's almost 15 years ago.
Yeah,
and the thing is, the original was a real graphical standout at the time. Easily one of the best looking games of the year. And for the time, the character models and animations were just among the best.
Yes,
the Dead Space remake is different from the Resident Evil 4 remake because it's almost strictly accurate. Most of the environments are exactly the same, just a lot more detail. And it's a credit to the original game's environmental design that they kept the remake so close while still being able to make it look amazing. I'm not going to downplay all the smart gameplay environments that they brought to the remake, but the level design is almost one-to-one at times, which is perfect for a list like this. Necromorphs. Way more grotesque this time around. I'm not sure how much I can actually show, like, easily, and also just how gross it is, but the way their flesh peels off their skin is disgustingly impressive. It's one of those games that's perfect for showing off just how far graphics have come in the past decade and a half, because the original game holds up, and the remake doesn't look that different, but still somehow blows it out of the water. It's easy to be cynical and say games peaked in the Xbox 360 era or whatever, but this remake really shows how far we've come in terms of environmental effects and animations. And part of it is because of how good the original stands up this much later. And number 6 is LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga versus LEGO Star Wars from 2005. Might be hard to believe now, but when LEGO Star Wars first came out, people didn't think it would do well. Obviously, that turned out to be very wrong, but at the time, these games were a bit of a weird idea. The first game, obviously not a graphical showcase. Obviously, most LEGO games were pretty modest in their visuals, right? In that regard, the Skywalker Saga was a pretty huge step forward. For one thing, massive undertaking that somehow combines all 9 movies into one story, and every single planet is made open for exploration. And it's kind of crazy how much better the Skywalker Saga looks. I mean, yeah, that first game was for PlayStation 2, and of course the PS5-powered one's gonna look better, but it's not just from pure polygons. The art direction is a lot better too. The original game mostly got by on the appeal of just being able to play the LEGO characters, but the Skywalker Saga's animations and art, like, they're put up there with the animated movie. Now, keep in mind, the Skywalker Saga also benefits from having existed after the LEGO movie did. That, I think, is pretty much not only when the LEGO people figured out what CG animated LEGO stuff should look like, it's also, to be frank, a landmark film in terms of animation.
You know what? I think that was probably the last Gran Turismo I played was 4. And I don't know, I think that 3 was like when it actually got too technical for me. I'm not gonna lie. You could start changing your ride height and all these different fucking specs. And I'm not a car guy. You know, and it was, the first one was more the first two were kind of like arcadey. But by the time it got to 3, I was like, oh shit. And then I played 4, and then after 4, I was like, you know what? I don't think I'll just stick to Need for Speed, you know? I'll just play Need for Speed, man. I'm not gonna lie though, like I think it was either part 2 or 3, they had the time endurance races. Yeah, I did one of those races. It was like a 2-hour race. Remember, I drove the same fucking lap on that shit for 2 fucking hours, bro. I mean, the same fucking track. 2 hours. If it wasn't 2 hours, it was over an hour. I know it was. It was some dumbass shit, and I was trying to do challenge. It was a Saturday too. I was just trying to do some challenges, and I was like, I guess I'll try that shit. I don't got shit else to do on the Saturday. I only did one of them though, one endurance. Like fuck that. I said, you know what? I'll never do that shit again. That shit got boring after the first 30 minutes. What the fuck, bro? Yeah, the Need for Speed. I don't know. Like I said in the beginning, I liked both of them, and then there was the other one too. There was something like Ridge Racer. Like back in the day, I used to love the racing games, man. I used to and Dirt with the rally cars. That was my shit. All the racing games. Like I say, Gran Turismo just got too technical for me. I couldn't keep up with it. I got the munchies. I'm gonna go for another few minutes, but I gotta grab a snack or something. For real. Let me go grab a snack real quick.
Had a large amount of influence on what non-realistic animation looks like, both in video games and movies since then. But it's not just the characters that look better here either. It's also the environments, effects, lighting, all that stuff looks way better. In comparison to other games on this list, it doesn't have like the best visuals or anything, but the jump from PS2, Xbox to now is so huge, it's really fun to compare.
WoW is a private server where you forge your own custom class in a classic vanilla plus setting. Play free, build your custom hero, and conquer Azeroth. Welcome to Season 9. Wildcard is a game mode where every level you'll roll a random ability or talent, shaping your build by re-rolling the weakest abilities and talents of your choice. You start the game with 4 abilities that you can re-roll as many times as you want. These are important, as they're what you'll use to reach level 10. Once you hit 10, you'll start rolling new abilities and talents. Every level, you'll roll a talent, while every 2 levels, you'll roll an ability. Talents can be any strength from common to legendary, but they'll always only cost 1 point. This means you can gain legendary 5-point talents like Ignite.
And number 5 is Dead Island 2 versus Dead Island, which came out in 2011. You know what's honestly really shocking here? That the sequel to Dead Island, which was announced in 2014, actually came out, and particularly shocking is that it's really not bad. Like, the original Dead Island wasn't a masterpiece or anything, but it did have some really great environmental design, especially in the first area set in the tropical resort. That still looks pretty good even today. It's not pushing polygons like modern games and environmental effects. It looks a little flat, but think about how most Xbox 360 era games looked. The original Dead Island did a great job of making some of its environments.
I never played Dead Island.
Way not a lot of games really have. Like, even today, games feel the need to clutter every environment up with as much stuff possible, which can look impressive, but it doesn't always look realistic. Dead Island 2, on the other hand, really did a good job expanding on what Dead Island 1 did right. Many of the locations, while not directly based on anything, look almost photorealistic at times, especially under the right lighting. Character models in Dead Island 2 are, of course, a lot better, but the real star of the show is the zombies. The zombies in Dead Island 2 are nasty, and the things you can do to them are even nastier. Zombies' heads cave in when you bash them, limbs tear open when you slice them, jaws hang off their into a human body, well, what is left of one, is disgusting. And I'm not sure, again, how much we can show exactly. We do like getting paid for doing work. From the first game, it is a huge improvement. Like, the Dying Light games would be a more direct comparison to the original Dead Island, made by the same developer, but I personally think Dead Island 2 is just an overall better looking game than Dying Light 2. Maybe not as ambitious, but better looking. Number 4 is Metroid Prime Remastered versus Metroid Prime. This is one that just came out of nowhere. Metroid Prime came out in 2002, Metroid Prime Remastered, very recent, and it's great. It's not Resident Evil 4 remake or even the Dead Space remake, because unlike those games, hardly anything was changed besides the graphics. It's in every way a one-to-one recreation of the original game, but with visuals that are shockingly similar, actually, in visuals. The funny thing is that the original, which came out for the Nintendo GameCube, still holds up in terms of art design. It's not pushing a lot of polygons, but it looks still good, honestly. The remaster takes all of that and just improves. If you haven't played the original in a long time, you might not even notice how much better the new version looks, but check out the side-by-side. Wow, 20 years can make a big difference. What's also funny is that we're going from what was cutting edge in 2002, GameCube, to Switch, which is pretty outdated in 2023. Still, huge graphical updates, and the Switch is pushing some nice frame rates, let's just go ahead and say, in this. One thing that really stands out, though, is how much more atmospheric everything is in the Switch version. The thick layer of fog when you first enter the space station, it's so much more ominous than the 2002 version. The level of detail is consistent for the entire remaster. It's not too far off from the original, and again, the reason the original holds up, I think, is the art direction, and it's also the reason why, if you haven't seen the original recently, you might not even realize that there's a huge improvement, and that's a testament to the original's art direction, but wow, there is a huge improvement. And number 3 is Elden Ring versus King's Field. King's Field came out in '94. Kind of unfair, honestly. The obvious choice would be to compare Elden Ring to Demon's Souls, that first breakout title from PlayStation 3. But we've already compared that game with its remake, which is frankly visually much, much better. So let's cast that net a little wider and go all the way back to From's first game. In many ways, King's Field are the precursors to the entire Souls formula. They've got large, mysterious, non-linear worlds, NPCs that are weird, like really, really weird, and sometimes pretty brutal difficulty. Released on the original PlayStation in '94, the first King's Field never actually left Japan, and the later games failed to make much of a mark in the Western market.
Oh, man. This is gonna be good. The only thing I like better than good coffee is good coffee delivered straight to my front door. These are from Bones Coffee, an online coffee shop with an incredible selection of beans.
These are clunky, weird games that are just obtuse, and they're also first person instead of third, but beyond that, the gameplay at its core isn't that different. Now, in comparison, From is at the height of their power with Elden Ring. It's a massive open world adventure, but it still retains that mysterious tone and sometimes obtuse mechanics that make these games so engrossing to people. But in terms of visuals, night and day. Almost qualitatively different. Like, we're almost in the categorically not comparable turf here. But they're both 3D, right? So on one hand, you got the epic vistas of Elden Ring. On the other, the endless blocky hallways of King's Field. The game was
rudimentary even for its time. The PlayStation 1 was capable of a lot more than this. The funny thing is, even though Elden Ring has beautiful visuals, it's also not really pushing hardware to its limits. The visuals, in terms of pure detail, pretty modest compared to a lot of other games that have been on this list so far. What makes up for it is its stellar world design, but compared to the Demon's Souls remake, that game actually kind of has better visuals. This is kind of just to highlight how far From has come from its humble beginnings. From like basic hallways to massive, unforgettable worlds and the lands between. At number 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart versus the original Ratchet & Clank in 2002. Now, Insomniac is another studio that's come a very, very long way. From Spyro to the first Ratchet & Clank to Spider-Man, they've evolved really, really, really well over the last few decades into a powerhouse. They've always been pushing the boundaries of what's possible with PlayStation systems, and a good way to highlight that is the original Ratchet & Clank from 2002 to the newest sequel from 2021. One thing I always remember is that the first was actually able to render these massive vistas whenever you landed on a new planet. No other PlayStation game was really doing stuff like that while keeping a high frame rate, but man, they pulled it off. That big zoomed out opening shot was a staple of the series, and Rift Apart shows how far the technology has come. I know I've said how certain games look like animated movies now, but Rift Apart, I think that may be more true than with any other game. The animation and character models are just incredible, and a lot of the effects the game throws at you, it's really a PlayStation 5 showcase. The original game is a lot more humble in comparison. What really stands out with the older games is how ugly the character design is. It just doesn't have the appeal of later Ratchet games. Even compared to contemporaries like Jak and Daxter, the character models don't look great. I'm sure that there are people out there that prefer this rougher, less refined style, but to me it just looks amateurish. Everything is still quite impressive though, like the scale of the levels, the fast loading times, the smooth frame rate was just something that Ratchet did better than pretty much everybody else on PS2. Funny thing is for a series that's been going for 20 years, the basic gameplays remain mostly the same. You're still exploring planets, still blasting enemies, smashing crates with a wrench. It just looks way better every release. Yeah, you gotta dodge, move, and you can strafe now, but what you're doing in Rift Apart is mostly the same. And that's 20 years of development. And finally, at number 1 is Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Red Dead Revolver. It's so obvious, I don't know why we haven't talked about this one before, in fact. On the one hand, you got Rockstar's magnum opus, Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the most beautiful, detailed, and atmospheric games ever made. And on the other, you got the humble Red Dead Revolver, a canceled Capcom game that Rockstar bought and finished for a quick turnaround back in 2004. The first Red Dead has almost nothing in common with the series that it would eventually become. It's a very linear action game where you swap between multiple characters, fighting a variety of cartoonish village. The Japanese origins of the game are unmistakable, from the way the story plays out to the hub-based mission design. Whereas RDR2, 100% Rockstar. A meticulously created open-world epic that's not afraid to slow down and take things at its own pace. The visuals, especially with the environmental design, it's just jaw-dropping, even today. And it's not like a new game, you know? With the snowy mountains, the verdant hills, the bustling city, all rendered with an unprecedented level of care and detail.
Okay, gentlemen, listen up, all of you. According to the information so kindly provided to us by the crystals, the train will be coming north from Big Valley. We're gonna pick it off after it crosses the border into Twisted.
All these years later, I think Red Dead 2 is best in class open world environment design. Every location just looks so amazingly good. Red Dead Revolver, on the other hand, is functional. Most of the levels in these games are rough and barren looking, even for a game at its time. Character models have blurry textures. Sometimes they really don't look good. Gameplay wise, it's really arcadey. I enjoy it, but it's just run through the level and shoot anything that moves. And there's a boss fight at the end. Graphics and gameplay have very little, almost nothing in common with Red Dead Redemption. Basically, the only thing that connects these games is an Easter egg mention of red in the first RDR game and the title. That's about it. But wow, very different games, very different graphics. That's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, it's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. The best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on Game Ranks.
Game Ranks. I support them.
At Outback, barefoot, steak and beer. Walkabout Wednesdays are back. Get a sirloin or a chicken on the barbie. Fries at a draft beer or Coca-Cola, starting at just $13.99. Hurry in. Wednesdays are for Outback. Outback Steakhouse.
Considering that the video game industry is now over 50 years old, if you count Pong as the point where it all started, then it's really not surprising that it's given us gamers plenty of big moments that have stuck in our collective memories. But have you ever sat down to wonder which ones are the most iconic? We certainly have, and it's for this reason that we've decided to bring you today's big list.
To help us pull this list together, we went out amongst our wonderful community with a simple question. What are, in your opinion, the most unforgettable moments in gaming history?
Well, you turned out in droves to give your thoughts, so many in fact, that our original plan to list the 101 most unforgettable moments both real world and in-game has been thrown out of the window. And we've decided instead to create two separate lists, starting with the most iconic in-game moments.
Every entry on this list is something that's happened in one of our favourite games that has stuck with us long after the credits have rolled. They can be as small as a single quote or as big as the death of a beloved character, but what matters is that they've stayed on our minds and in our hearts in the years since their respective games' release.
As is always the case with these big
One thing that I'll never forget is the first jump scare. I don't know if it's the first jump scare, maybe. In the very first Resident Evil, and you go in the mansion, and you walk down this hall, and then one of the fucking hellhounds smashes through the window and comes into the hallway. I'll never forget that moment, yo. Damn near dropped my controller. There's a couple things from goddamn Metal Gear Solid. The first time you use a box to hide in Metal Gear Solid, I'll never forget that shit. And goddamn that Psycho Mantis boss fight, that shit will forever be one of my favorite moments ever in gaming history. And then of course, and this is a little dark, but like the first time you kill a prostitute in Grand Theft Auto 3, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, that's one I will never forget. Like, yo, this bugging. Like, yo, Rockstar is crazy for that, bro. Crazy. Excuse me. I done ate too many chips. Alright, we almost got this damn underpainting blocked in. This is my goal for this evening. And so now, it only took about a month, I guess, a couple weeks, you know, 4 weeks. But we have 3 paintings that we can work on now. So this was our first goal for the next phase of our art. is the prep up. Prep up. I was worried because when I got done with the last painting, I had no paintings prepped. Y'all know I don't normally be like that. Gotta have something to work on. What else I'm gonna do? You know? Alright, so. Well. I do believe we have done something. You know what I'm saying? What that something is still yet to be determined. It could be a masterpiece or it could be a piece of shit. I'm known for making some shitty ass art, man. So we gonna rock with it. See where this thing takes us, you know? Just see where it goes from here. Alright? You done good, boy, you done good. Oh, my bad. I'm just eating these damn chips. You beat the whole game in one day. Alright. Now I feel comfortable going to play some video games. Because I got some pain done. Alright guys, that's another one in the books. Right at 2 hours. You know how we do it? Get it in, get it done. Catch y'all downstairs on some Call of Duty. Peace.